Hello there, fellow summoners. M.O.D.O.K here, and I'm just going to do, this is a long video, but there are timestamps and links to jump to any fight that might interest you. We are in the off-season. We have Miss-Tic Dispersion in play, which is an interesting tactic on defense, and then on attack we have Alliance War Defiance, which counters Miss-Tic Dispersion, which I really do enjoy. Those attackers are pretty clutch. So let's show you the wars that we had in the off season. 6 wars. Some of them were a little less competitive than others. First up we have for Loki, and they place quite the interesting defense. Basically almost zero Miss-Tic Dispersion defenders. I got one of the 2 that were on the map. You can see they got like Aegon, and they got a Thanos boss and all kinds of crazy stuff. So not a ton of testing here, but we got some interesting fights. And this was a fight that I was wondering how it would go. So I'm going to go in with White Magneto, some path 1, node 4. I'm not putting all the extra fancy graphics and stuff on all this stuff, but B-Manny, the leader of for Loki, he's got this Peni Parker, and Peni Parker had just recently been updated to do all the auto blocking even when you parry, but when it's a passive stun, she cannot bypass that and auto block it. So we're going to try out just White Magneto. He does have the magnetism, just like WhMags, and this Peni does have suicides on, so it's definitely going to help. But regardless of that, definitely White Magneto works. So we're just going to parry heavy, and that's going to allow us to stay far away from her to not get those regens. And plus, if we did stay close for an extended period of time, the magnetism would probably prevent it to begin with. And then we're just going to try to bait a special here. Suicides, there's a regen. The suicides will end up killing her off along with my attacks. And right there, I probably could have gotten auto blocked because she wasn't passively stunned. I'm just going for it on the specials. And yeah, I'm not even bothering to take down her shield. There you can see the auto block happened, but it was under the passive stun, so I don't get power drained or anything like that. None of the effects. And you know, she's got a few of those regens going now. And there we go. WhMags putting in some work. He is definitely not just a pre-fight guy. If you think that, you would be mistaken. You should try him out. He is actually a pretty solid attacker for a lot of different situations. And then next here we have this strike counter fury. This is node 20. It's got a bishop on it. Again, this is B-Manny's bishop, who is running suicides. So Warlock is a great option here. I put on a WhMags so that I can get guaranteed stuns and bypass the Masochism. And we're going to try to play strike counter to the best of our ability and try not to let him get those furies. I'm just trying to build up some infection first and build up a little bit of power. You know, now if I were to do this in season, I would definitely put on a power start 1 and tech boost and get to a special 2 and then just rinse. So you can see there, the bleed gets consumed by Masochism. We're just trying to get up to a special 2 without building up too many furies. It's got 5. There we go. 25k crit on that heavy, which is awesome. And he's draining from that armor break. And I don't think he even throws one special this fight, which is great. And we move on. So Warlock definitely would work well there with all the appropriate boosts in season. And the suicides, that he had on really didn't come into play much because it got ate up by Masochism and he didn't throw any specials. So, and then I wasn't originally going to take this fight, but we had some people clamming to get out into Section 2, so I'm like, I'll just take it with Warlock. This guy also had Suicide's Liquid Courage, Double Edge on, and here with the Powersnack, my armor up is going to get eaten right at the beginning, and so I just need to kind of dance around a little bit, get a dex off, and then let the Powersnack consume that precision dex buff, so that when my armor comes back, I got it to use and I don't get any of the detonation charges. So there you go, you can see he's running Suicides, get some power gain, doesn't quite get up to a bar there. We have the precision, we fire it off, and now we got our armor up. So now if we do get any plasmas and they get up to 10 and they detonate, we take no damage. Now I was trying to dex that. I usually dex the L2 no problem. For whatever reason it did not happen there. It's not a problem though, and I'm just gonna get up to special 2 and put those armor breaks on. We're already getting the willpower degen, heal reversal, power reversal from the poison. Now I've got the armor breaks on, and this guy is never going to throw another special, and the poisons are definitely helping out on the damage on this one. But a pretty simple Warlock fight, special one to finish it off. So that went pretty well. Now technically I probably should have and could have taken this Mr. Sinister, but somebody else called it out. I let him have a go at it, and that was on the Mixmaster. Warlock would have been an awesome option to use there. And then we wait for some energy to get out of Section 2. Yeah, there's that Mr. Sinister. And we're gonna go over to the right side where this DocOc is. So now this node can be quite problematic with specific defenders on it, but DocOc, we're not running unstoppable armor anymore. This guy doesn't have anything going for him. We're gonna go in WhMags. I can't remember if this guy has no suicides. Now I try to dex out. I get a couple of those disorients on from blocking. I gotta watch out for the window of opportunity stun. DocOc, he kind of has a jumpy animation, and I was worried that I was going to parry while the window of opportunity stun was up and then get that reflected, and yeah. But we do have magnetism. You can see we're bypassing the disorient. I think it's also less chance on the parries to actually get that disorient applied. Get off a decent special one, takes off a decent chunk of damage there. We have a decent amount of prowess. We used up one of the pre-fights, so I mean the more pre-fights that you use as far ahead of time, the less damage potential WhMags has, because he has a higher chance per persistent charge to gain prowess on attacks, and then he gets those guaranteed ones on the heavies. I was hoping that special one would take him out, not quite. Bait the heavy, retaliate, not quite enough damage there, and there, tap him over, get the kill. Nothing too crazy on that fight. Quite the interesting defenders that will place this war. Now here is the first Miss-Tic Dispersion defender we're going to see. This is on node 35. It's got the one eye open and then hazard shift, incinerate, and shock. We put a WhMags on. With WhMags, it will allow you to bypass the one eye open, the passive stuns. Any of the damage that you do while under that stun, it does not get reflected back, which is really nice. It makes this fight a lot simpler. I applied the pre-fight and then I was checking for the logo icon and it wasn't there. I backed all the way out just to make. I always do that to make sure. But yeah, we're gonna go into this fight with Falcon. In Falcon and Locked On, he bypasses the hazard shift, which is awesome, and he's Defiance, so I can't gain buffs, which includes the Dex, which includes the haters, if I complete all the prompts. You can see the damage output on Falcon is quite impressive, and he just totally shuts down Mojo, which is a pretty awesome thing. So even if I do fail all the prompts and whatnot, I can't get degen, which is awesome. So I'm just waiting for Locked On to come back. I think I do get tagged over here in the corner, maybe. I think, if I remember right, we get Locked On again. I'm just throwing special ones. I don't have any boost on or anything like that. For the most part, I generally don't do any boosts in the off season. Yeah, there's when I got tagged. I'm trying to dance around so I can get Locked On again, because I don't want to get a bunch of shocks and bleeds on. Not quite there. There we go. So now he's got the fury and everything, but it doesn't matter because I can't get the hater buffs, which is awesome. Otherwise, I'd probably, you'd be dead right now if you weren't a Defiance champ. Yeah, we take him down. Lost 50% health. Boosted definitely would be a lot quicker and safer. But yeah, Falcon works really, really well. And then we have a M.O.D.O.K on the second hazard shift, Incinerate Poison, and then Nerves of Steel, where they get like a passive armor up every so often. You have to hit into the block to get rid of them. And basically similar strategy. We're just gonna dash back, hold block, get Locked On, and then just go to town. Now, I know M.O.D.O.K, I think he has some like accuracy ability. Yeah, so right there, he can bypass the full ability to ignore the hazard shift. So I did get a bleed on there, and it took a decent chunk of my health. So now I'm just waiting for Locked On to come again. I also could be hitting into the block to stall as well, but yeah, that guy was running Liquid Courage Double Edge, and that ended up taking him out. And then again, we got another B-Manny fight here. This is a new node, Rich Get Richer, and Aspect of Evolution, Feats of Power. So as you cross a bar, they're gonna get buffs. Whoever has more buffs gains power and all that. I can't gain any buffs because I am Defiance. But going into this fight again, B-Manny was running the Bleeding Poison, the Damage, Suicide Masteries, and that just makes this a little bit too easy, too quick. He ends up throwing one special one, and yeah, that's it. 30-second fight unboosted, and then on the island, I wanted to take this Peni initially, but somebody else got in there and tried and failed. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to put on the White Magneto Guidance, and instead of going in with WhMags, I'm going to go in with Warlock. This has the Safeguard, and Peni is not bleed immune, so all I got to do is get the infection on and then parry heavy. So while under those passive stuns, she can't auto block me even with the shield up, and we're gonna get the power drain and degen. My Warlock is only like 620, but it's plenty to deal with this, and it's kind of a uneventful fight, but yeah, parry heavy. And then you can see I'm just trying to get it to where she gets drained enough to where she just never throws any special ones, because the more specials she throws, the more of those spider charges she gets. If she gets enough of them, she'll inflict that power drain debuff and do some damage. So I'm just trying to keep her away from that. And yeah, it would have been a pretty simple and easy solo I throw the special 3. This is not gonna kill her off because it, unless assassins did it, but I'm only gonna get 1% damage on this. Yeah, but I will get the heal coming out, so I go from 73 to 77, and then dies from the power drain, degen. So there's that one, and then I have one more fight, which is this 5-star Stark's Spider-Man. I apply the white Magneto pre-fight. This is Vega. Vega's got a channel. Watch a lot of his war videos and whatnot. So this is Hard Knock Live, Brute Force, Limber. Limber gets bypassed with the guidance and back out. Looks like it didn't apply, and at least on that screen. So I go all the way back out. I always do this. I always recommend it because Kabam will kabam you with pre-fights if you're not paying attention. But we're just gonna go in with Warlock. Now this has the best defense, so it's got enhanced evade abilities, but I think Vega was running damage masteries as well. No, he was not. But we're just gonna keep the bleed on and try to do most of the hits under the stun, because even when you knock him down with the heavy and you disable his AI online Stark stuff, he still can't evade. It's just, I think, less chance. So here we go. And we also do have to watch out for the Disorients, because the Disorients can prevent the stuns from actually happening. But now that we got armor break on him, get the nice power control, we got some pretty solid damage there. Does get the evade. I think there's gonna be one more evade here at the end over in the corner, I think. Yeah, right there. And yeah, we just need to get like a bleed or something on him to get some degen, get him have him infected, and there you go, he goes down. So that was my war 1 in the off season. Didn't die, used like 10% set a boost of attack and health for that Peni. But yeah, here's the next one. We're against ISO 8. We played these guys last season, season 33, and beat them. These guys' defense was a little bit more legit. They had a lot of Mystic defenders on the map to deal with. You can see like the whole island's filled up with them. So we're gonna go in with WhMags, Mr. Fantastic, and Nebula as our team. Mr. Fantastic is a Defiance attacker, so he's gonna come into use here. We're gonna go up path 3. Yeah, path 3. We're gonna put on the pre-fights here. We have Sorcerer Supreme, which is a Mystic defender, so if you do gain buffs, you know, that will trigger that miss mechanic. It goes for like 4 seconds, and then it's on cooldown for 20. So it's definitely, you can play around it, but you definitely need to be aware of it. But if you use a Defiance champ, or you use Spiderman 2099 or Red Guardian, you don't even have to worry about it. This is Hurt Locker, Power Focus 2, and Ionized Armor, where they throw a special, they'll get an armor up. So I'm just gonna go in Mr. Fantastic. I think I miss a parry or whatnot at the beginning, but the whole plan is to get to special 2 and throw that, double up. Yeah, there's the miss parry, take a few hits, no big deal. And get another set of those debuffs on. So we have Petrify and Suppress, that's curbing the amount of power gain that Sorcerer gets, and debuff Siphon, which isn't going to do a ton, but it will help with the regen reversal with Petrify, the Petrify mastery, and Despair. Yeah, Petrify and Despair. Well, and under the stun, less healing. Despair, reversing the healing. And then we're going to throw a special one because it does have Hurt Locker, and there's alternate, and it goes down pretty easily. Now this next fight, I wasn't too certain about, and it definitely got me. So we are going to put on WhMags guidance so that we can get parries on this Masochism node without any issues. But it has the strike counter fury. It's got the hit me, I dare you. So I have 10 hits, they're gonna get an armor up, and then you're gonna start getting shocked, which is fine for Nebula. But the thing here that I didn't anticipate or plan on was trying to keep track of Void's Intimidating Presence timer and the Masochism timer. Now the Masochism timer does have the little white bar things above it, so it's the one on the far right, and the Intimidating Presence timer is the other one. Now the problem was I did do a power. Did I do a power start one? Yeah, I did a power start one. I was hoping that I would be able to disable the Masochism and then get off like a big special 2, but I needed to do a heavy to apply the shock, and I just lost track of which timer was which, and then my combo gets out of hand. You can see the damage 761 just with those 3 Furies active, and trying to keep your combo going and getting the 10 hits, throwing the specials, trying to line up a big special 2 with the shocks. Yeah, it just wasn't happening. Now thinking back, we probably wouldn't have assigned this, but I thought this could work, and I was just jumping into the map. But we probably would have signed like a mole man or something like that instead. There, I do get a couple shocks on. Gotta keep throwing the specials though. I get the power drain that gets masochismed. Yeah, but I just did not play the Intimidating Presence and the Fury stuff proper, and then there I just get wrecked by a special 2. Yeah, so I died on that one. I go and revive because I was going to use, or I am going to use Nebula in a couple other fights. So I throw on a revive. It's too bad we don't have the 40% revives going on that just got launched today for the season starting tomorrow. Put a couple heals in, and this guy's got like 50-something thousand health left. And this guy does also have suicides on, so damage from Void is more. And yeah, just trying to manage everything and line it all up for like a big special 2 from Nebula. It just wasn't working. There's just a lot going on in this fight. And yeah, so here I'm waiting. There we go. I'm waiting a little bit too long. I think I got the timers mixed up again. We're able to close this one out, but yeah, this one was quite annoying. Definitely, I would never recommend using Nebula for this fight. There's just so many icons, hit counters with strike counter, the Masochism, the Intimidating Presence, the Hit Me I Dare You, the armor ups. There's just a lot going on the screen that makes it a bit difficult. And yeah, I almost die again. But he's gonna throw the special, and we escape. So yeah, and then the reason why I revived was I called out this Apoc on E.M.P, and I have that Omega Sentinel, and I come up to this, and my buddy had already tried to do this with his Nimrod, and here's the little conversation. I'm like, what? You tried to take him? Like, I would have told you not to do that. But that's right, Nimrod died because Nimrod is not shock immune, and he's got a lot of armor ups. It's just not a good idea. Not a good idea there. Could it work? Probably not, but I don't think you're going to get to Special 2 fast enough. Maybe if you did a Power Start 1 and you got a bunch of parries off, and I don't know. Seems a little bit risky, but Nebula is a good counter. So I put a couple more heals into Nebula, and I put on a regen boost. This is probably the most boost that I've put on in any off-season war in a long time. Usually I don't put on anything, but I do have some extra regen boosts and whatnot that are going to expire in the off-season, so I figured I might as well use them. And for this Apocalypse fight, it's pretty simple one. I want to dex as much as possible, so that way I can build up those E.M.P charges, and that's going to allow me to get a bunch of shocks. So like right now there, he's got 4 E.M.Ps. That's going to give me 20 charges, which is the max I can get when he throws the special. And then I just parry, and boom, 20 shocks. And the damage is pretty solid. And that's pretty much, if you do that 3 times without like boost on, it's going to kill him. It does have aspect of evolution, so the specials will hit a little bit harder and harder. And normally I think do I dex that? Yeah, I was thinking I was going to block that, but we got 20 charges, boom, another 20 shocks on him, letting those roll off. They don't quite kill him. There goes the dex. He's got 3. He throws another special. This is going to hit. It goes from 74 to 58 on those 2 blocked hits. Aspect of Evolution definitely putting in some work there. But we get Apoc down. Nebula is probably the simplest solution to use against that fight, without risking having to use specials and stuff with the Burden of Might that drains your power. Then here we got a Vulture. I'm going to throw on all the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights. Again, Mr. Fantastic is a Defiance champ, therefore I can't gain buffs. Therefore, buffet on this node means nothing. So it's just pretty much a pretty standard Vulture fight. We're going to get to Special 2, double up all the pre-fights. You can see I still have that regen boost going from that Apoc E.M.P fight with Nebula. And I was hoping to see, like, could I possibly do this fast enough to where I do the Nebula, Vulture, and the next fight under the same regen boost, but it's not going to be fast enough, which is fine, because I have the regen boosts are the ones that I have the most of. But yeah, so we double up the debuffs. He's thrown 2 special ones. I think he's going to throw 1 more. We're going to get the Careful Study passive on the special 1, and then we're going to get the increased power rate when you have that passive. And yeah, Mr. Fantastic, he's pretty fantastic. I really like using him. And out of the Fantastic Four champs, he's definitely not the quickest. Like Torch is obviously the fastest. I think speed wise between him and Thing, they're pretty similar. A lot of hits, kind of a slower pace fight, but just super versatile. Him and Thing, they can just do a lot of stuff. They don't do it fast, but they do it really well, really safe. And in Alliance War, sometimes just being safe and not dying is all you need. So here we're going to throw off another special one. We're going to try to get him down with a bunch of those debuffs on, and we do. So that means we're going to carry over a whole bunch more pre-fights. Now we got Omega Sentinel. This is a rank 4 Omega Sentinel. I'm going and looking at my stash, seeing what I got available, and you can see there's all my boosts that I had extra that I was using. So I'm gonna throw on 1 more regen boost just to make sure that I can make it out of this fight with Sentinel or with Nebula. I'm not gonna put any heals in. I'm just gonna throw a regen boost on, and the whole name of this game is just to block bait. I'm I'm trying to remember if I finish this with a special 2 or if I go to special 3. You can pretty much do either, but if you do throw the special 2, you do want to make sure you don't have the dex up, I think. I mean, I guess the despair will prevent the healing and whatnot, but you want to make sure that you get back to 5 charges as soon as possible, because the strike counter will start putting suppressions on you potentially when the shocks are off, I think before the special animation is up, and it's just gonna make it harder to get power and whatnot. So here we're just baiting. This guy also does have liquid courage double edge on, so every time it throws a special, it's gonna hit a little bit harder into the block because of the extra attack, but also gonna take the recoil damage. So yeah, I'm trying to think if I end up, I think I just go for the special 3. Or maybe no specials at all. I think I go for the special 3, and then every time you get a hit, you're gonna get a shock on her. There we go. And we got that stupid Wi-Fi thing basically saying, hey, this fight might just bug out and not count. It's always great to have flashing at you while you're doing an Alliance war fight. We don't want to push her to a special 2. Just, you know, special 1's a little bit easier to just block and get out of range of. Definitely can dex it. I haven't fought her a ton. There we do end up applying a parry and shocking her, and she goes down. So Nebula, pretty solid option to go against that buffet Chitinous Thorns there with Omega Sentinel. And then last up, this is a fight I didn't have this one scheduled for me. I was like, yeah, you know, I got the WhMags. I think Mr. Fantastic can do this fight pretty easily. You know, Ma, he can't put any Furies on. I can't get any precisions from dexing, so he can't nullify me. So the only time I'm either going to take degen is if I eat a heavy to the face or if I eat a special 2. So it does have the disorients on parry. Do need to be mindful of that. I do have the WhMags pre-fight on. I do put on all 3 of the debuffs. Get the reparry off there. As you can see, I got 2 of those disorients, which are going to prevent ability accuracy and whatnot. I'm going to see if I can't remember. I think I might get up to a special 2 and double up the debuffs, but then I think after that I'm not able to keep them active. Just going a little bit passive here. I think we throw it. Yeah, we double it up, refresh him. He's throwing 1 special 1. Come on, throw another special. So I just want to be mindful of how many times I parry, because I don't want to get too many disorients up. Yeah, this is where I think they all fall off. I thought about countering with the heavy there, but I didn't go into this fight like practicing or anything like that with the spacing. And Mr. Fantastic's heavy reach can be pretty unreliable. Like, you know, if you get in the corner and you start heavying, you look like you have enough reach, stomp him, you know, with his big foot, but then all of a sudden he'll miss. But the one nice thing is, you know, if you don't know this, if your debuffs do fall off, if you do get back to special 2, you can throw it and you can reactivate them. So I do that, but then I'm just not aggressive enough. It wasn't in the cards to get those refreshed. I'm like, okay, whatever. I do need to watch out for the falter. I haven't been knocking him down with a heavy to reset his focus. So here we go again. We get faltered. We just gotta make sure we don't hit during that time. Brute force, no problem. We do get a little bit of willpower healing from that falter. But you can see I had no boost on for this fight. And this Ebony Maw, who would probably be a big pain without like a pre-fight torch or something like that, goes down pretty easily with Mr. Fantastic. And it didn't make it too difficult of a fight. So Mr. Fantastic, I think he's going to see a lot of fights this season. Not just maybe from me, but from our teammates and stuff. I think he's gonna be a pretty solid contributor on clearing a bunch of critical fights on the map. So I go and throw on Mr. Fantastic pre-fights. I think I throw on WhMags. I think I still have one WhMags for the boss. And I think we had somebody take this with an I-Bomb. I-Bomb is also a Defiance champ. So yeah, so that was that war against ISO 8. That was War 2 in the off-season. Now we're in War 3 up against the Matrix. These guys, I'm trying to think, did they place a full defense? I think these guys placed a full defense. Yeah, it's just over on this right side there was a bunch of fights that were missing. That's where they chose not to place. I actually had some interesting fights this war. So this one was a really fun fight. So I hadn't experienced Miss-Tic Dispersion yet. So I've done 2 wars, but although I had fought some Miss-Tic Dispersion champs, I used Defiance champs to counter. So I'm going in with Thing on this long shot, and it has Kinetic and Conflictor. No, sorry, it's Conflictor with power efficiency. So this is one of the fights that was changed, one of the nodes that was changed up for this season. It used to have Kinetic and something with power drain stuff. I can't remember what the node's called, but so now it has Conflictor. So if you inflict a debuff, they gain power, and it costs like 50% less power every time they throw a special. So it's a pretty decent spot for long shot. So when I go into this fight, I'm trying to get a Dex off so that when I hit him, I can see what the heck happens with this Mystic stuff and how like the mist stuff comes on. Because I don't, even before this fight, I don't think I had seen any of our guys with like the to see how this interaction. Finally, I do get a Dex, so now I'm gonna hit, and then boom, there's that little red icon. Looks like a little phase icon, miss icon. So now it's on cooldown for 20 seconds. So okay, we're good. Now I could have put on a WhMags on this fight because I had him on the team, and that would have definitely helped with the Conflictor. But we're just gonna showcase how good of an option Thing is versus Longshot. So his special 1 and special 2 really can't do much of damage to him. Now he was being a little turd and not wanting to throw a special. So we accidentally parry again in the corner, triggers Conflictor, special 3, and then I go and throw a heavy to activate protection. So I take like no damage. Took like no damage from the stun and all those hits, no problem. You see power efficiency, he's pretty much right back at, 1.5 bars, and then he gains power. I do have buffs. This guy does have Miss-Tic Dispersion on. And here we go, we're gonna throw a special 3. But yeah, this just really shows like how good of a option, utility wise, Thing is against Longshot. So we got a bunch of debuffs or buffs on us, and when those fall off, that will trigger Miss-Tic Dispersion. He's got a little bit of it, and yeah, this guy is not wanting to throw a lot of specials. And I keep getting cornered. Here we go. So here's the special 2. Even if Pure Heart was up, I would have gotten 1 Incinerate, but that's it. There, I'm back in the corner. There's an Incinerate. I'm actually healing from that special. The big passive damage he cannot take because that's all tied to nullification and things nullify immune. So there, we push him back to special 3. This time we didn't, the 20 rock stacks fell off. We only have 15, so we're gonna take a little bit of damage from this, 87 to 81%. We'll come out of this stunned again. He'll start whacking into us, but it's all right. Thing's just tanking it. And yeah, I don't know. When I was in this fight, it was pretty fun. There, you can see I triggered the Miss-Tic Dispersion again. That was like the 3rd time. So I mean, as long as you have a buff, you hit them and get rid of it, then just back off. Like you get Dex, hit them, back off, wait it out 4 seconds, and then you got 20 seconds of just free play. And we finished him off. So he gave us 2 special 3s. I think we gave him 2 special 3s, and we won. We came out with 80% health. That's unboosted, no boosts, no invuln boosts, a lot of hits received, things a tank. Pretty fun fight. So next we got an Ebony Maw on, this is the Vivified node, and Brute Force. So we're just going in thing, again, unboosted. This guy, if I remember right, I think this guy did have Suicide's Liquid Courage Double Edge on. It's going to make it a little bit easier, quicker. Yeah, he does. So, you know, I want him to throw special ones. If he throws special 2, whatever, just block it. You know, this guy is Miss-Tic Defender. So here I got a Dex. I think, yeah, so he can't nullify it. Boom, we hit him once. Trigger the miss mechanic. Wait it out. Don't hit him. Definitely don't want to hit him in that miss, because if you miss against Maw, you're going to take degen damage. Wait out the falter. We're going to heavy knock him down. We're just going to bait out special ones. And, you know, this would have been the plan regardless if he had the recoil and whatnot. But just kind of slow and steady. Knock him down again. Block the special 2. There's the miss. Getting triggered again, no problem, and boom, light them up with our own special 2, and we get the KO. So nice, decent solo there. And that was all the fights that I took for section 1 in this war. Section 2, I'm gonna go up path 9, I think. Let's see here, we're coming out. Yeah, we had a kitty take that Fury. Demps with his kitty Pride, rank 4, pretty nice. Yeah, here we go. So we're going up path 9. We got this Heimdall, and this again has the one eye open. We're gonna apply White Magneto guidance on this, which will allow us to stun and hit and do whatever we want for whatever reason. Even if you have a passive stun up, the one eye open is basically disabled. So the one eye open only applies to stun debuffs. And yeah, we're gonna use Nebula, class disadvantage. I think I get hit a few times. We're not boosted. Again, I don't boost much, if at all, for off-season wars. Yeah, this guy's got recoil and everything on, so it's gonna make it a little bit easier. But this is also gonna show like how good the recovery, the regen from Nebula is. Yeah, right here, I eat a heavy, boom, but I get 2 regens to heal all that damage back. Waiting for that shock phase to come back around. Now I'm going to be able to build up shocks just by hitting him. There we got 10, and then for whatever reason I eat another heavy. I don't know what was going on with that. And then we get 10 shocks on the special 2 and gone. So definitely not a clean fight, but I don't know if my inputs were a little bit wonky on that one, but wasn't too concerned. And then we got an I-bomb. Yeah, an I-bomb on this next one. Again, it's hazard shift, shock and bleed. Nebula is shock and bleed immune, and she gains the shock charges every time she would get shocked, the amp charges. So you can see, boom, I already got 15, 20. I'm right at 20. I just parry, let the damage roll. I'm already back up to 10, and we're just gonna keep doing that. Hit while we got the shock up. Now we're gonna try not to parry until we get closer to the special 2. So here we go. We got shock up. We didn't get any on that combo, which was kind of unfortunate. We logged off the special 2. It'll double up to 26. And is it enough? Nope, not quite enough. I needed a little bit more. But now you're gonna see we're already back at 20, and he's gone. Nebula just rinses that lane generally for most of the champs. There are a few champs that she can't do, but they were pretty generous and loaded that up with champs that Nebula could do. And then we're going to go up to the mini island, and who did we take on the island this time? Oh yeah, so we have this Cersei, and so I was like, I was trying to get over to other fights. Somebody else called this out, and I said, hey, I'm stealing this. It says got the safeguard on it, but this Stranic guy, he had Liquid Courage, Double Edge. I think I fought one of his champs earlier on, and we had confirmed that it had it. So I was like, I'm just gonna take it with Thing. Thing cannot bypass safeguard. It's just 1% max hit damage per hit, but with that poison on, she's just melting. And then you just gotta evade a few special ones if she throws it. I can't remember if she throws too many of them, but you can see she's ticking for 638 and only healing for 89. So, and then there's a 5% damage per special. There's another one, and then because I can't hit super hard, I'm not gonna activate her glancing stuff. And yeah, it's a pretty simple, straightforward fight. Again, definitely would not do this as like a valid option, but if you're gonna run the damage masteries and put them on defense, you can take a lot of fights that maybe you wouldn't take in the season. Not maybe, I wouldn't. Yeah, she's just being very passive with not throwing too many specials. But we get the solo. Oh, right there, Assassin kicks in. Assassin kicks in, bypasses the damage cap, and that triggers the regen and all that kind of stuff, and the glancing. So I just throw a special 3 that I had been saving up. Boom, gone. So Thing solos a Cersei. Oh yeah, and then these I did take 2 other fights. I thought I had recorded them. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I deleted the footage, but I ended up poking Char. Char went in with Magneto on this M.O.D.O.K. Got about half of it down. I finished it off with my WhMags. He had called that one out. I actually kind of wanted to take it with just WhMags, but then I took the Jabari with WhMags, put on the guidance, and got through that fight. And that was my war there. And then next war, this is War 4 against NXS, Noxious Smoke. We didn't play them last season. They put together a pretty solid defense to work against, although Mini Island was lacking. I don't know what happened there, but we'll take it. I got a different team. Here's a fun team. So again, I just ranked up Yellow Jacket. He's just rank 2 going against this rank 4 Doom, right? But Yellow Jacket, he's a Defiance champ, and he is a really solid Mystic counter. So unfortunately, this guy is running Liquid Courage, Double Edge, so we're gonna get a bunch of damage from that and make this fight go a little bit quicker. But I'm just gonna try to heavy and then go over the special 1 while I have the slow up. He was very passive. Hazarath got activated. Had he thrown it with the slow up, I wouldn't have Hazarath. But yeah, I can't game buff, so he's not going to shock me, which is nice. And then we just push him over special 1, and then we launch the special 1, reset the strike counter. There, he doesn't get Hazarath up. We're going to throw the special 1 again. We don't have slow active on this one, but the power stings are pretty solid damage. And yeah, rank 4 Doom gets nuked down by Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket, I actually took him to rank 3. So he's going to be an option for me to use on attack this season. And then we got this Guillotine 2099. She is a Mystic defender. So you got to be careful with that, but we're going to go with Magneto. Magneto cannot miss, So the few metal champs that are Mystic defenders, Magneto is an excellent option. I think we actually had Magneto banned one of our off-season wars. But yeah, Magneto versus a metal champ, miss, doesn't matter. So we're just going to, we're going to abide by the strike counter. I could have probably just gone to special 3. But there you can see whether it's the global or her invisibility, he just bypasses that miss ability. And we're just going to keep throwing and abiding to the strike counter and then throwing special ones. I know he can bypass it. And you can see like he also is bypassing the cooldown on the Mystic Dispersion tactic, but it doesn't matter regardless if he does or not, if it keeps coming up before 20 seconds is up, because I think that's like the 4th time in 1 minute that it came up, even though it's supposed to be 4 seconds plus a 20-second cooldown. But yeah, Magneto rinses her, no problem. And then let's see, move up. Oh, now here is a fun one. So I took Masacre to rank 3. I've always liked him ever since we had the Deadpool variant. I really liked him. I never saw the value in taking him up for war, but now that he's a Defiance champion, he's up on my list to be used as an attacker. So here is a Nick Fury. He's only rank 3, but it's a max sig. There's no damage masteries on this one. This is just like a straight up fight. I'm not boosted. And my whole game plan is to hit into the block, get that bat lit, and just keep hitting into the block. You know, get some incinerates and stuff on him here and there, but the main game plan is to try to hit into the block and get the power gain that you get from having the bat lit. Push Fury to his special 2s, and then just light him up with special 2s into the block. And you're going to see the damage that we do. And because he's Defiance, you know, Powersnack doesn't mean anything. You know, he can do Powersnack fights. So here we're just going to hit into the block, full combo, into special 2, 26 and 39k. And it's an automatic miss as well, where you can hit into the block and you won't get hit right after. So it's very safe. Then here you can see we're just hitting into the block, we're gaining power, and we're just going right back up to special 2 and try to get that bat lit. Here we go again. And I think after this one, I think we actually get hit by an unblockable special 2. Yeah, Dex, and then get tagged. It's alright, it didn't hurt that bad. I got some willpower healing. Now he's unblockable. That's alright. We got 8. We got to get up to 10. No, we're not going to get it. There we go. 7, 8, 9. And back down to 8. And then here we go. Boom. 26. 36. I mean, that's 60. He's doing like 60 to 70k special 2s into the block. That's pretty decent damage. And the one thing I like about him, I mean, the playstyle is very different. I mean, and you know, you can just normally hit and everything. I was just trying to minimize like how many tactical charges he would get. There we get rid of the life model decoy. He's all the way down to under 30%. And we're gonna just hit into the block. But the one reason I like is the power gain is very minimal by hitting into the block, but you still gain power. Like, there we go. Boom. Pop him with another special 2 into the block, and Nick Fury is down. So that was a pretty fun fight. Very non-typical counter. But with Defiance in play, I think you're going to see a lot more Masacre fights. Now here's one that was really weird. So I was dueling M.O.D.O.K, and Yellow Jacket has a synergy with himself to get a slow on the heavy. And when I was dueling him, I wasn't getting the slow because he doesn't have the synergy, but I was able to parry heavy and land the hit. And then the first parry heavy in the fight, he astral evades me. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't do that. But I do have the slow up now, so I don't have to mix master. I just need him to throw a special. But I was a little bit worried because I was planning on just having the slow active. But this guy, again, he is running Liquid Courage Double Edge, so we're getting the damage on the specials. The prowess is building up like crazy right now. But I'm just going to do medium light specials. Get some nice power sting damage. Power focus 1, he's throwing a lot of specials. And I just got to play it a little bit more patient now. Had this been, this is just a good lesson for the season. Yellow Jacket's actually a great counter for M.O.D.O.K, but definitely need the WhMags. For whatever reason, when I was doing my duels against myself, I could parry heavy without the slow. But then in war, it didn't quite work that way. So, yeah. And then, let's see, we're going to move up to the left side. I'm trying to think what I took on this lane. Oh, yeah, we're going up path 2. We have a M.O.D.O.K and an Apocalypse. So, Hard Knock Life, want to throw specials, or you get the block proficiency, block penetration, charges built up. Magneto can bypass that, especially if you have Max Stupefy. If I think that's right, Max Stupefy is ability accuracy reduction under the stun. I don't actually run that mastery, but for Magneto, it's actually a really, really solid one to run, because if you run it max, his magnetism is 70% ability accuracy reduction, and then under the stun, it's an extra 30%, so it's 100%. So anything under the stun is 100% ability accuracy against metal champs. So I throw off the special one, and here I just felt like I was kind of thinking that I was going to get to a special quicker, but I just felt like the power gain was not all that much, but I wasn't blocking a lot. So we do actually, Magnetism doesn't bypass all the block penetrations, it's fine, but I think I actually get tagged. I get tagged somewhere in here. Sometimes when I parry, I'll get the disorient, other times not, because Magnetism bypasses it. Oh no, I eat a heavy, and I'm like, ooh, that hurt. I'm getting incinerated. He can't auto block us, but here we push into special 2, which normally I don't do. I'm trying to think if I block this. I think I might just block the special 2. I might try to dex it if he throws it. Yeah, we block it, take a little bit of damage. But yeah, Magneto's a great option for M.O.D.O.K. Can't be auto-blocked. Reduces a lot of those block penetration charges if you don't abide to the strike counter. I probably could have just built a special 3, and then it would have been over, but we're just messing around. Magneto, I think this is like the very first war that I brought Magneto, at least in a long time, because I haven't had him ranked up. So here I'm looking at my boosts and everything. I probably should have I have all these boosts expiring in an hour, and I didn't use them on that M.O.D.O.K fight. So I'm gonna throw on a couple boosts. Oh, it was a Mysterio, not an Apoc here. I think the Apoc is another war. But yeah, we're just gonna use Magneto, and I go and I throw on an attack and a health and attack boost, just to help get through this fight. Don't have a lot of health left. And I throw on a Power Star 1. And yeah, I'm not even sure that this guy throws a special attack. Maybe he does. I can't remember. There you can see Mysterio is a Mystic Defender, but again, Magneto against metal defenders can't miss. Oof, look at that. Special 2 did a ton of damage with very little prowess. And oh yeah, this guy's also running Liquid Courage Double Edge, so that helped some of the damage with the bleed and then the recoil. We're just gonna try to build back up to special 1. Kind of playing very conservative. Throw the special 1. He's got a few block penetration charges. No big deal. We're gonna get some shrapnel detonation here in a second. There we go. And he's done. So that worked out well. Magneto doing Magneto things. And then on Boss Island, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, we got a Dragon Man on this Falter node. It's got Falter, Power Efficiency, Return Policy. Dragon Man, he's metal. I don't even throw any boost on. I think all those boosts that were expiring within an hour, it was past the hour and didn't have any of those left. Going in with less than 30% health. Now the one thing is this guy's likely running Miss-Tic Dispersion, and you cannot double up the prowess until you're ready to kill him, and that's with a special 3. If you throw a special 1 or a special 2, you're gonna armor break and then you're gonna degen. So here, I'm just gonna try to bait out specials. Falter doesn't really do anything to me because I got magnetism, I can't miss, regardless if it's the Miss-Tic Dispersion or the Falter that would get put on by the node, but it's not going to get put on the node because we're Magneto and it's magnetism and it just turns it off, which is awesome. There, it finally actually turned it on that one, on that knockdown. We're going to bait this out, and I think we're just going to throw one more heavy. I think we're going to start to double up here. No, get him a special 2 one more time. 14 prowess, come on. I think we're gonna do it right after this. There we go. We doubled up. We had the unstoppable. We got tagged. That's all right. We double up again. 44 prowess. That's lights out. And crushed. Gotta love that L3 prowess damage, man. It's awesome. And then let's see, we move up. No, that was the war. So next up we got a war against Salty. This is war number 5 in the off season, and we're gonna take path 8 and path 2. And then on the island, we're gonna go on the left side. So I got Thing, WhMags, and Masacre. So first up we got this Ionized, and this has the, what is it, when you're close to him, the Rich Get Richer Fury and Personal Space. Yeah, so the more buffs he has, he'll start getting Furies, passives, plus if you're close to him, he'll get active Furies. He's got his Rod that's going to count as a buff. And I'm just going to go with Thing. Thing's a solid option for fighting Ionized. He can nullify the Rod with the special 1, but this does have Mystic Ward, and Thing's nullify counts towards being prevented by Mystic Ward. So you can see, like right there, I wasn't able to take off the Rod. I think I do end up getting it removed later in the fight. But see, now I have a Dex Precision that offsets his Rod, so he's not getting the passive Furies. So you can Dex and kind of reset the passive Furies, which is nice. There, he's got, he can get Stifles on me, which trigger his unstoppable, but he can't get the armor breaks, which is nice, which is one reason why he's a really solid option to use against Ionized. You get the willpower healing from the Stifles if you get those. I think I do get tagged by a special 1 somewhere here. Yeah, right there. I think I get tagged by another one. I have some rock stacks on, so that the damage is pretty minimal with no armor breaks. And I do have the WhMags guidance applied, so I can get the guaranteed parry stuns, the passives. Otherwise, sticking the regular stuns, it's kind of you're at random chances whether or not he's gonna stifle you or not with that Rod up. So I'm almost up to max Furies. I'm at 45 of my own passive Furies, and he's down. So we lost a little bit of health, no big deal. Unboosted, no problem. Thing can smash out Ionized. So we're gonna move over to the left side. This is where we're gonna have a little bit of fun with Masacre. So I took this lane last war. This time we're going to do it with Masacre for both fights, even the Apocalypse class disadvantage. So, you know, the one nice thing with Masacre is he can gain power with actually not having to hit them and use up the strike counters, which is pretty cool. So my whole game plan is to hit into the block, get the bat lit, and then throw off level special 2s into the block and get big damage. Now at the very beginning, I do get I get tagged. I get a combo right there. I'm like, ooh, that didn't work out too well. And that was just me not dancing around appropriately. You know, had my shoelaces untied or something. But now we got the bat lit, and we're gonna hit him a few times here and there. And he's getting incinerated. Now he does have energy resistance, Yellow Jacket, so he's not gonna get a ton of damage off of those incinerates and everything. And there, I thought I had a special 2, and it was just not enough. And so I get whacked and punished for that. I'm like, great, this is not a good way to start the fight, but it's all right. We're gonna get the bat lit again. Again, you just gotta hit into the block. Every time you hit into the block, you get an ignition. And then once you get to 10, you get the bat lit, and then boom, full combo, 25k, 32k into the block. So that was almost 60k damage. It's not too bad. And then we're just gonna keep hitting into the block. Even the special into the block does reset the strike counters, which is nice. I'm just gonna bait special 1, and then go back into hitting into the block, and then we're gonna finish him off with one more special 2. Now the one reason why I think Yellow Jacket's actually fairly, and the reason why he's placed here is, you know, if you have to throw a lot of specials, every time you throw a special, you give him 10 charges, and then he can enter the meltdown, and then if he touches you while he's in meltdown, you take a lot of damage. But yeah, I didn't have to throw but 2. Well, I threw 2 special 2s and then 1 accidental special 1. But yeah, take him out. We only hit him actually 15 times. So we don't have very much health left. We got this Apocalypse, and I went into this fight thinking, you know, class disadvantage. I'll throw on a regen boost because I still had, I think that was the last extra one that I had to use that was in my inventory. But we're just gonna go in just like that. We're at like 20%, 8,000 health. You can get Disorients on the Devil Dashback, but the Disorients on the Devil Dashback can also give you willpower healing. And because we're not going to be giving him a lot of power, because we're actually not going to be hitting him except into the block, we come out of this fight with a lot of extra health than we came into it. So we get a couple intercepts. We're just trying to hit into the block. I'm not trying to hit him too much. But you can see he is now Incinerate and Bleed immune. We could make him Disorient immune if we threw a special 1. We're just gonna block this. We made sure we didn't double dash back, so we didn't get the extra like block penetration that you can get from the Disorient. And we're getting up there. 6. We need him to dash back. There we go. Boom. There. Bat is lit, so now we can gain extra power while the bat is lit, and then we're just gonna throw this into the block if he's gonna be nice and back off. And then boom, here we go. So full combo, boom, 24k. And how much was that? I looked back at the footage, the blast, it kind of covered up the numbers. I couldn't even see it. So, but it was a decent chunk of damage, and 5 hits. We hit him 5 times. He hit us 0 times. We came out with more health. It's pretty cool. Granted, he did have suicides on, but now we're gonna go on. We got a Black Panther, Civil War. We don't have to worry about unstoppable armor anymore, which is nice. We put on a white Magneto guidance, or we already had one on from my buddy, and we go in. We still have that regen boost active, and as long as we hit him while he's under the stun, or we stun him while he has armored ups, the passive stuns will not reflect back at us. I think if we hit him with a heavy while outside of that, though, he can go unstoppable and hit us back. But we're We're going to try to abide by the strike counter. You can see here I'm just kind of being passive because I'm waiting for those armor ups to fall off so I can... No, so even the armor ups, even under the passive stun, I think it only activates on that first hit. So you can see I've thrown 2 special ones. I'm just abiding by the strike counter on this one. It's not a fast fight, but it's safe. And technically I don't even have to abide by the strike counter, but I just felt like doing it for this fight. And I'm able to manage and throw off specials and, you know, convert furies and whatnot with the specials. And we do have the Chitinous Thorns that's active, that does remove your rock stacks and convert them as well outside if you don't have 15 plus rock stacks when you throw the special. But yeah, there's not any really big issues on this one with the passive stun that you get from guidance. You can just play Black Panther Civil War like normal. And with Unstoppable Armor not even in play, it's not an issue. I've done some Civil Warriors with Unstoppable Armor with Thing. It's kind of fun. It's a lot more to pay attention to and everything, but he goes down no problem. And then we're gonna go over to the left side. So I was planning on taking this Super Scroll with Masacre. I was hoping that I'd be a little bit more healthy. That Yellow Jacket took a chunk of my health. We're not boosting on this fight. I think this guy also does have suicides on, but the one nice thing with Masacre is, or maybe we do put boosts. I think we're looking to see what boost we got. That might be expiring soon. There's a 15%, some greens. I think I actually do put a yellow and a orange and a green on, but Super Scroll, he is Incinerate immune, but that's not a problem. The one cool thing with Masacre is that if they're not Incinerate immune, you can Incinerate them, get the damage that way, and you can keep the bat lit a little bit easier. But if they're immune, you think, oh well, you can't do the Incinerate damage, but they take a passive red damage for every time that the bat is lit, when they would have been incinerated. So you can still get some decent damage off. And with him being a Defiance champ, Super Scroll still being a Mystic champ, you know, he was a Unstoppable Armor champ, but we're just gonna hit into the block a lot. We do have to, here the problem was I was so focused on his own falter, I forgot about his buffs falling off, and I think it's that vigilance buff that gets me. I think it's coming up here. So here I think I'm gonna go hit. Oh no, I just forgot about the falter, the own falter, and I tried to hit into his block and he intercepted me. So that did not go well. I was like, okay. I mean, he's got suicides on, so we just go back in with Thing and we just kill him and let the suicides do a lot of the work, which is kind of sad. I really, the one thing that I don't like about off-season is we got so many people that run suicides up in our bracket that, you know, they're trying to get arena, do fights fast, whatever. They put them on, and it doesn't make a lot of the fights very challenging or very good examples of will this work well or not, because you're like, well, it worked, but I think like half of the fight's damage was done because he was bleeding and poisoning himself and throwing specials. And I mean, yeah, right there I almost got hit in the face, but he goes down. Okay, unfortunate test with Masacre, messed up. Now here's one that I was interested in. So we got a long shot. We're gonna put on WhMags. Long shot's a Mystic defender, so we're gonna get those misses triggered because we're gonna go in with Thing. So anytime I dex or I get an unblockable or unstoppable buff, that can trigger the Mystic Dispersion miss. And I'm not actually gonna throw a special in this fight. And It's not like that was my intent to like not throw a special because I could get buffs or whatever, but I was just practicing fighting this guy, because long shot can be quite annoying. Thing makes him significantly less annoying because special 1, even if I get tagged, even with pure heart, it's all bleed damage. Thing's bleed immune. His special 2, which gets the incinerates on you, the first one will get on you. It's really weak. It actually heals Thing. But all of the other passive incinerate damage, especially with pure heart up, it's all tied to nullification and all that, and Thing's immune to it. So like special 1, special 2 literally does like 0 damage to Thing. And here we're just kind of mix mastering it, trying to bait as many specials as we can. You can see the Mystic thing is on cooldown there. We trigger it, 1 hit, back off, wait 4 seconds, and then you can fight normal, as long as this guy's throwing specials. It's got the puncture prowess and whatever the other node is that gives him the prowess and the block penetration with the prowess and all that. If you repeat the same attack twice, you can see I've been doing light, medium, light, medium. If he goes to special 2, no problem. I think he's gonna throw a special 2, and I think I might miss the dex, maybe on the next one. You're gonna see that it actually heals me, and then there you go. Trigger the Miss-Tic Dispersion again, 1 hit, back off, and then it's reset for 20 seconds. So I'm just kind of, I mean, I could have thrown a special 3 a long time ago, but I'm just like trying to draw this fight out just for practice. And Thing works really, really well for dealing with this fight, because he's not going to apply debuffs on him. Unless I threw like a special 2 with a stun, or a special 1, get the weakness. And yeah, there we go. 1 hit, back off. Maybe I don't get hit by a special 2. I could have thrown, I think the special 3 would have killed him right here. But we're just doing parry, light, medium, light, medium. You can do like parry, medium, light, medium, which is a more typical combo, and then like heavy the next time. There we go. Yeah, we do finish him off with a special 3. We're like, yeah, we're not gonna get too much more combo in, and we get the solo. So Thing is actually a really solid option there. Definitely do want WhMags. If you don't have the WhMags and you have to parry a lot, you're gonna trigger Conflictor a ton and give him a lot of power that you might get cornered and whatnot. So there's that one, and I think that's all we had for this war. I think I put on a WhMags on the boss, and I can't remember who took that, but. And then here's the last war from yesterday / this ended this morning. We're up against CIRR. We've never played these guys before. They didn't place. Three people didn't place in our battle group 2, and we're like, okay. So I'm going up the left side. I'm gonna go up path 8, and then I'm gonna use all my energy, and then I'm gonna undo. I'm going to back up, and then when we get energy, we're going to go up past 7. So this allows me to take 2 paths in one section, which is kind of cool. Just be careful that you don't slip up and do something stupid, but the undo button is very helpful at times, unless you basically double up in paths and basically give, you know, other options elsewhere, which is kind of nice. And we're going to go up to this man thing. So we're going to bring in Masacre again, and dude, this fight, I was excited that I could try this one out and the next one. I'm really digging Masacre. He's actually doing really solid things in Battlegrounds. And yeah, so we're going to throw on light boost because we have some extras, 10% attack, 10% health and attack. But you're going to see we're going to end this fight with a full yellow bar. And it's pretty easy, even though Man Thing is a Mystic Defender. He can put lots of buffs on you and poison you and all that kind of stuff. But if you are immune to buffs, which you are as a Defiance attacker, like Masacre is, you know, you can't get the pustules, you can't nullify, you can't get poisoned. The only way you can get poisoned is if you get special 3'd. So no Miss-Tic Dispersion, actually like the mastery here, and we're just gonna hit into the block, get a lot of damage going, get that bat lit, and you're gonna see some pretty chunky damage in a second. Full combo into the block, 30k, 46, 76k from those 2 hits into the block. That's pretty dang nice. And you know, you don't have to give them a lot of power because you're not actually landing hits. Hits into the block give the defender a significantly less amount of power from their combat power rate. So it's a totally weird and different play style, but I really like it. And then once that bat is lit, you hit into the block, you gain power. Yeah, Masacre, he's pretty cool. I'm really digging him. I was trying to hit into the block there. We get an intercept instead, whatever. And then boom, we light him up. Full yellow bar. Man thing. Dead. No poison, not poison immune. Dude, he's awesome. Masacre is awesome. So now we're gonna move up to this Peni Parker. Spite, rise to power. Spite doesn't mean anything. We're Defiance. We're gonna go with Masacre. And you might say, oh, Peni's Incinerate immune. That's fine. We're still going to get red damage when the bat is lit and we hit. Instead of getting an Incinerate debuff on and getting that damage over time, we're just going to get instant red damage. And then the hits into the block are going to do, and the L2 into the block is going to do massive amounts of damage. And it doesn't knock them down, so we don't have to worry about rise to power. So as long as we don't heavy or actually throw a real special and land it, like you would normally would with pretty much any other champ, you're good to go. So we're basically doing double duty right now. We're taking down her shield while hitting into the block, and we're getting the bat lit. So now you can see all that red damage. I'm getting, was it 2452 per hit while the bat is lit. That's a pretty decent guaranteed chunk of damage. So we do knock her down. The rise to power is up, but the shield's down. She's got a couple of her spider charges. It's fine. We are going to hit her a few times, and then block, and now she's got her shield up, so now we can get auto blocked. So we got to take the shield down, but while taking the shield down, we're also building our bat to get lit up. We're at 7, and then we're going to do another hit into the block and do a full combo into a special 2 on the next one, because we let some of those charges go off. Here we go, bat is lit. Did I not? Here. We're going to throw it right here. Boom. 23k, 35k. So that was what? Almost just under 60k damage. Pretty solid. And then we're just going to hit her a few times. And the red damage just burns her. That was an easy fight. Very little damage taken. 24 hits. Easy fight. Like taking down an annoying Peni Parker. Masacre does a solid job, and I had 10% boost on. Pretty weak stuff that, you know, normally I would have more. And gray boost and all that stuff. Really don't need it. Next we got Jabari on this aspect of evolution and kinetic. I'm gonna bring in just WhMags. We're gonna apply the WhMags guidance. We're gonna get the passive stuns. We're lightly boosted still from that Peni Parker fight. And we're going to do a lot of parry heavy. This guy is running Liquid Courage, Double Edge, Damage Masteries, so, you know, it's not the best indicator of this fight because a lot of the damage comes from those Masteries and the recoil. But I'm just going to parry heavy. When we get Prowess, we can remove her Huntress charges. There, we throw off another decent special 1. Not too many Prowess active because I haven't hit her a ton. There I thought it was backed up enough, but definitely was not. Blocked the end of it. I was hoping that would kill her. No crit. We're just gonna block the special one. We got the ensnare on us. There's another special one, and ends up recoiling herself to death. So not the best test there, but I think I've taken a Jabari there with WhMags before. Now here's another awesome fight. Like, if you don't like Masacre yet, out of some of the fights that I've shown in the off-season, I don't know what will show it to you, but this one is also another awesome fight. It's Polka Dot Power, Stun Reflection, Stun Vulnerability. So Guillotine 2099 is a Miss-Tic defender, so she will get the miss tactic thing applied when a buff expires. Masacre is Defiance, so he's not going to get any of those, so I don't have to worry about that. I do have to worry about her cloak, but we're just going to hit into the block, get the bat lit to where we can incinerate her, and then once we get one incinerate on, we're going to back off. So pop, back off, and then we can parry with that stun shield down, and we're just going to parry heavy. And we're gaining power slowly because of the polka dot power. And as long as we keep on incinerating her, yeah, we're gonna be fine. She got another. The stun shield's down. We got her shield down. Special 2 into the block. Dead. I mean, that was like super easy, straightforward fight. Unboosted. Yeah, pretty awesome. Now I brought in Thing to take out this long shot. I do have the WhMags guidance so that we can get the guaranteed stuns with the bypassing the limber node. It's got brute force and the best defense, which doesn't come into play. Now I do have to worry about the miss. And if I parry too much with the hard knock life and the disorients, that can cause a lot of block penetration, and it can cause the parries to fail, which, you know, with Thing you do want to parry a lot, but this fight does not go as planned. He goes really passive on me. You're gonna see in a minute where he just holds special 2, and I end up eating a special 3, and I was trying to activate protection because I had it available, and I wasn't quick enough when I get cornered. Now there I do mess up because I did get the dex and I triggered the miss, so the second hit's not going to land. That first hit you're good, but you got to back off, and so if you got a multi-hit heavy, definitely don't want to do that. Throw off a special 2. It's going okay. Again, long shot, special 1, special 2 really can't do damage to you. Thing, it really does like nothing to him. But we do need this guy to throw a special. And we get backed up in the corner, and he does not want to throw. We're taking brute force. I'm like, dude, come on. I whiff a hit. I didn't want to get parried there. There we trigger the 1 hit, and now we get hit ourselves. We're gonna start dexing, and then right here I tried to do the heavy to trigger protection. Wasn't quick enough. He throws a special 3, and I'm dead. So that was kind of a bummer of a fight. It felt like, I don't know, sometimes Longshot just wants to be a big stinker and not throw his specials. And with brute force and the disorients from Hard Knock Life, it's not a good thing. So I took a break for a second, and I'm like, anybody else want to do this fight? And I'm like, you know what? I still got Masacre. Let's throw him at him. He's not a hero, so he doesn't get the benefit from the guidance for getting the stuns. I get the attack, but I don't get buffs, so I don't have to worry about the misses and all that. While I do want to hit into the block, I do need to still hit him because of the brute force. But the one thing that I should have done, and I didn't do this because I normally don't do this. I know you can like dash in, dash out, dash in, get closer to him. I never really do that against Longshot. So if I were to do this again with Thing or with Masacre, I would definitely practice that, because staying far away off the special and not countering is not good for this node because of the brute force. So we do throw. He does throw a special 2. Now, if he had Pure of Heart, that special 2 would have killed me. Because I would have gotten the Incinerates and stuff on me. But yeah, so we really want to stick him to throwing special 1. This fight, he's actually throwing specials. There I tried to counter, and that's like I got hit. I'm like, ugh. And I'm taking a lot of block damage. We're getting a little bit aggressive. The bat isn't quite lit. I was at 9 of his charges, and then a couple of them fall off. We need to get a hit in to get that brute force from getting off us. The bat's still not lit. You can get charges from crits. And then see, this is where I should have been practicing the counters to get in close. The bat's still not lit. Brute force. I just throw the special 2, even though it's not going to do a ton of damage. A lot of the damage comes from hitting it into the block, but I just need to get rid of the brute force, and we get him down. So Masacre, really solid option. Really looking forward to using him in this season. A lot of good Defiance champs available. I throw in a WhMags. Somebody, Coop, he tried to do this noted when I was fighting that. I was like, I should have just waited. But anyways, I'm looking really forward to using these Defiance champs. I think the tactic really is awesome for countering Miss-Tic Dispersion, both the mastery and the defensive tactic. Out of these champs, I have I-Bomb at rank 3. I have Mr. Fantastic at rank 3, She-Hulk at rank 3, Yellow Jacket at rank 3. I love my science champs. Science is my favorite class, so I'm really excited to use a bunch of these champs and have them be really effective in war. And then I have Falcon and Masacre at rank 3 as 6 stars. There's a lot of other good 6 stars. I think Black Panther would be great. Gwenpool, I wish I had her. I'd rank her up. Hawkeye should be solid. I think Hitmonkey can do a lot of good stuff. Killmonger, Stealth. I mean, I think pretty much anybody on this chart, maybe Invisible Woman or just regular Hulk. I'm trying to see how they would fit into being attacker. M.O.D.O.K, maybe not the best, but I mean, I could see a lot of these guys fitting in for some niche matchups that could work really, really well. So hopefully this helped give you some ideas of what you guys can do in the season. Hopefully it's going to be a good season. We definitely got a different economy coming in with the way that we're doing revives and heals and boosts and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But we're going to shoot for Masters again. We've gotten Masters 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Masters top 10 this last season. We're going to try to do that again. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.